From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Lindsay Stinger, and Governor Greg Gianforte has announced that Montana has reached an all-time low for unemployment rates. I've got more details coming up.
Plus, if you're younger, you're supposed to have the digital life dialed in, right? Well, maybe not. At 6:34, learn how new research is showing that young users are having a very hard time telling fact from fiction when they're online. Good morning, Southwest Montana. 6:30, we're finally seeing some cars out on the road, and road is looking a lot better than it was yesterday, just chilly.
Certainly is. The side roads still may have some ice. The frigid temperatures this morning, any melting that happened yesterday, instant ice this morning for the
So still
side
take your
roads.
time.
Yeah, 4 degrees below zero this morning in Butte, 18 degrees above in Belgrade, 20 degrees in Bozeman. It is still chilly, but the clouds are trying to work their way out of the area, and that should allow us to really see that sun blaze through the afternoon, pushing those daytime temperatures back into the low and mid 30s, which a little above freezing would actually help the melting process quite a bit on some of these area roadways. Sneak peek at the extended forecast, apparently it is going to warm up. We'll talk about our chances of snow in the weekend ahead in just a few minutes.
Awesome, thank you. Montana's unemployment rate is at a record low, meaning more Montanans than ever are working in state history, and the number of unemployed is at its lowest level. MTN's Lindsay Stinger takes a closer look at the numbers.
The governor has announced that Montana's unemployment rate is at a record-breaking low after a consistent decrease since December.
Thanks to Governor Gianforte's leadership and his support for common sense policies, Montana is open for business.
Open for business, and business is booming.
Our unemployment rate is 4.3%. We're basically fully employed right now.
Montana's total employment hit a record high in December at just over 500,000 total employment, which include payroll, agriculture, and self-employed workers. That grew by nearly 3,000 in December, the largest single-month gain in 2021. Payroll employment increased by 3,200 with a strong growth in retail.
Private sector created over 20,000 jobs in Montana last year, and this was the reason we ran, to create more good-paying jobs.
In June of 2021, Governor Gianforte made Montana the first state to dissolve the national pandemic unemployment benefits.
When I came into office, not only did we have a health pandemic, we also had an economic pandemic. We had arbitrary mandates that were forcing restaurants to close early, and we were paying people not to work. And it's just a simple concept. We shifted the focus. We were the first state in the country to end the supplemental unemployment benefits and incent back to work instead.
And the statewide call to work, well, worked. Every county in Montana has decreased their unemployment rate, some even as high as 5%. Not only are the unemployment rates low, but according to data from Montana's Department of Labor and Industry, there are more people working in Montana than ever recorded.
People come home and bring jobs with them. They're still eating in our restaurants. They're buying homes. This has made it, honestly, at some levels more difficult for folks as housing prices have gone up, but it is bringing people into the marketplace. So our mission is really simple. We want to create more good-paying jobs. That's happening, but we also have to protect the Montana way of life.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Stinger, MTN News.
And Senator Jon Tester reacted to Montana's record unemployment numbers, saying in a statement, "It's clear that the American Rescue Plan is giving our economy the boost it needs to get folks back to work and lower costs for Montana's working families." The Montana Democrat went on to say, "I was proud to secure these resources for our state, and I'm going to keep working to support Montana's small businesses as they create good-paying jobs and grow wages across the Treasure State." And experts say there's a misconception that just because you're young, people are proficient at using digital devices. They're also good at making sense of the information those devices provide. Research indicates, however, a lot of work must be done to make sure young people are taught the skills they need to become responsible information consumers. This week, we've again teamed up with the News Literacy Project to shine a light on better information consumption and sharing. All week long, we take a look at different elements of how Americans consume news and how we, as the media, can do better. Today, Asher Karashi takes a look at just how difficult it can be for young people to separate fact from fiction.
Researchers at the Stanford History Education Group completed a national survey of more than 3,000 American high schoolers looking at how It's
the largest study to date of its kind.
Joel Breakstone heads the Stanford group and has been studying news literacy among high schoolers for the past 6 years. He says they found that students struggle to make even basic evaluations about the validity of online information.
Students had trouble. For instance, when we presented students with a website that denied humans' role in global warming.
CO2 emissions and fossil fuel use have actually enhanced life.
Breakstone says 96% of the students could not identify that the website actually had connections to the fossil fuel industry. Information that he says was immediately available through simple online searches.
Similarly, when we showed them a Facebook video claiming to show voter fraud during the 2016 presidential Democratic primaries, they overwhelmingly took it at face value. Again,
a quick Google search, he says, would have led them to a whole series of articles debunking the video, including one from the BBC indicating the video that was viewed more than 1 million times was actually about voter fraud in Russia and had nothing to do with fraud in the U.S.
Out of more than 3,000 students, only 3, less than 0.1%, made that connection to the Russian source for the videos.
Researchers also compared how Stanford freshmen, young people in Silicon Valley, and history professors stacked up against fact-checkers from some of the nation's leading news organizations, and found striking differences in how well they evaluated unfamiliar websites.
The fact-checkers were way better than the Stanford students or the historians, and the reason was that they didn't stay on an unfamiliar website.
One of those websites was minimumwage.com.
And most of the students and many of the historians took that website at face value.
The site says it's a project of the Employment Policies Institute and is a nonpartisan nonprofit organization.
All of the fact checkers left the website and quickly discovered that the institute is actually run by a PR firm that is working for the food and beverage industry and has a vested interest in employment issues, and particularly minimum wage.
While Breakstone isn't saying everyone must become a professional fact checker, he does say that critical thinking and cross-referencing are key to being better informed.
We think in our current digital age, being able to find good information online is a critical component of being a participating member in our democracy.
One tip, he says, just because a website ends in .edu or .org doesn't necessarily mean it's trustworthy. I'm Usher Qureshi reporting.
Well, here's a fun story. Students at one Belgrade elementary school were able to have a different kind of book fair thanks to the donation from Denny Menholt Honda, our viewers in this station. MTN's Edgar Cedillo spoke with students after they found out what they were receiving.
Book fair season is usually the favorite time of year for most students, but this time around for students at Saddle Peak, it came with a special twist.
It sure looks like a book fair, doesn't it? That's weird. Did you guys bring any money to shop?
No. Done a pretty good job of keeping it a secret. Most of the kids didn't know what was going on. And
students at Saddle Peak Elementary in Belgrade had a special book fair thanks to KBZK and a $5,000 donation from Danny Menholt Honda.
They didn't know that they were going to get 3-4 new books that they didn't have to pay for.
Third graders in Mr. Link's class were already looking forward to the free books that they got to pick out.
I'm reading The One and Only Ivan.
They say when it comes to reading, it feels like it transports them to a whole nother world.
My favorite part of it is about adventures.
Saddle Peak Principal Patrick Cates says seeing their excitement for a different type of book fair made it worthwhile.
for them to be able to get these free books, taking them home, it was really neat to see the excitement on their faces this morning.
Learning from these books is not only something that they apply into the classroom, but outside as well.
Inspire me to be like a better person.
Okay.
Princesses stay up for what they believe in, and that teaches me that I should always be a kind-hearted woman.
One thing that Ginger Van Orden hopes to inspire the students at Saddle Peak when it comes to reading:
enjoy knowledge and that yearning to find knowledge and to become lifelong learners.
In Belgrade, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
It was so fun to be a part of that call yesterday. They were so excited. As part of National News Literacy Week, MTN invites you to a Facebook Live event, Stopping the Flood of Misinformation. Our panel of experts will help you tackle that and more. It's Thursday at 6:30 p.m. on the KBZK or KXLF Facebook page or with the KBZK streaming app for Roku and other devices.